Hey everybody, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. I'm your host, Herschel Gillis, and I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back with a review by a familiar face. I reviewed David Dawson's Flesh Games last year. I said it was one of my favorite movies of the year, and after I watched that, you know, contacted David on Instagram, bought a copy of The Long Weekend on Blu-ray. This is a 2022 film about two brothers named Mike and Nick who go on this camping trip after the death of a close friend of theirs, and sort of follows this camping trip. Um, and you just see their like relationship with each other and interactions through that. It goes without saying that this film is much different than Flesh Games. It's not a horror movie. It is a very laid back drama, like slice of life type of film. Certainly, you know, influenced by the mumblecore and such. Just like following people with, from what I've heard, little scripted dialogue. Um, so the dialogue flows more smoothly. It feels like a real conversation, which is always something that I've really enjoyed. I am a big mumblecore fan myself, and I've liked how that's influenced horror and became like mumblegore, which is its own thing as well. But this one is not that. This is the former, not the latter. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one a lot actually. It's definitely a film that I feel like if you have seen Flesh Games before this, or like presumably I need to get more into David's movies. Presumably his other work, this one may come as a surprise as it's much different in tone, but I don't think that's a weakness at all. I think the performances from the two leads in this is really good. Certainly believable. They felt like two, brothers that, like, they have some differences and they have some stuff in common, but, you kind of see these little differences come out and how they've sort of maybe come apart a little bit over time after the death of their friend. Like you can see it's affecting them differently, but they're sort of going to this place and like honoring him. And along the way, they find a male sex doll in a like abandoned boat in the woods, and one of them starts calling the sex doll by their friend's deceased friend's name, and you sort of see like the way that the death of their friend is affecting them differently. One is trying to remain more stoic, and then takes these like off calls, and he's telling white lies to keep things maintained with his brother, and the other one is talking to the sex doll like it is. But yeah, I really like the dynamic between the two characters. Never really went anywhere that was too surprising, but that's, obviously completely fine. It's just worth noting that, I'm not going to be like, oh, there's a big twist in this or anything, because Flesh Games, that was a plot point that I appreciated. This one doesn't have that, but that's completely fine, obviously. I really like the music in this one. Super laid back, like indie sounding music that I really liked. Fit the tone of the movie. It's sort of like a melancholic, a little bit somber of a film. There's always like an air of sort of sadness around this one. But it's also about like brotherly love and like the relationship between these two guys. And I think it's something that a lot of people can relate to. Or the death of a friend. Like, I was watching this, I saw a lot of myself in one of the characters in this. I won't say which, but let's just say that I'm a fellow nerd who likes comic books and Magic the Gathering, so I kind of related to one of them more than the other one. But I think a lot of people are going to see a lot of themselves in these two characters, which is something I always appreciate in film as well. And yeah, I just think this is a great film. It's paced really well. It's under an hour. Never boring. It takes its time, but it's not boring. I think there's a difference between being slow paced and being dull. And this is not dull. I like the dialogue. I like the realistic feel of this. Um, yeah, just really nice. It feels like peeking into the lives of two real people on a camping trip that have gone through this loss. And as someone, as I've talked about, who's gone through a loss in the previous year as well, it's a more relatable movie. Like the grieving process and everything that you go through is uh, relatable. So I appreciated that. And yeah, I highly recommend checking this one out. Enjoyed it a lot. Um, there's I can't overestimate. I can't overstate the strength in the acting performances in this for two people that are, you know, not like massive actors or anything. I think they did a really good job portraying their characters. They felt very believable and grounded. The way the dialogue is delivered always feels like it's a natural conversation that's actually happening, which is the strength of mumblecore as a genre. To me, I like the relatable and realistic dialogue in these. Flashy dialogue and writing that is obviously written, but quotable stuff is always good. But I always have preferred a more natural feel to it, especially in these dramas like this where you're supposed to relate to the characters. When they're spouting out quips and saying things that real people wouldn't say, wouldn't be as relatable. So appreciated that about this. Certainly not going to be the last you hear from me on David Dawson's work. I hope to speak with David in the future as well. Getting stuff lined out around here, trying to set up some interviews. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for the long weekend. Check it out. It's on Tubi as well. I believe Firework from David is on there too. Go buy a copy from David on Instagram because, this is the type of stuff that I like to see in underground cinema. Like, legitimately well written, well acted, and, original stuff. That's what I like to see. I've said it with Box Creep Films. Said it with Bloodsick Productions, now David Dawson. These are the type of guys they want to support in the underground, so hit David up for a copy of this on Blu-ray. If Flesh Games is still on VHS, hit that man up. And I know that Flesh Games is coming out through SRS. I'm going to be pre-ordering that one myself when it comes out. Highly recommend you all do the same. So, yeah. As always, I've been your host, Herschel Gillis, signing off for today. 0 thoughts, 0 editing, 0 brain cells, and 0 planning. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow with a review of Getting Personal. I meant to review that today, but I finished this and I wanted to talk about it. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.